Live from Elkhart Christian Academy, this is Eagles basketball on 88.1 WVPE HD3. My name is Nathan Ganger. It's my pleasure to have you with me on this Tuesday evening in Elkhart, Indiana. The Eagles of Elkhart Christian Academy are taking on Fairfield. The Eagles are 9-9 on the year, and Fairfield is 13-5. Last game for the Eagles, they lost to Gemtown 38-34. The previous night, they beat Granger Christian, and they were led by defense. They allowed just 13 points in the second half, 4 points in the third, and 9 in the fourth. Against Gemtown, the triangle and 2 was very effective, holding Gemtown to just 38 points. And we'll see what defense the Eagles run tonight. It will be a very tall task if it's a very good, talented, and balanced Fairfield team. Starting lineups for Fairfield: Peyton Faldo, Skylar Mast, Cordell Hofer, Nolan Sherrick, and Kay Gall. Starting lineup for the Eagles: Bryce Corson, Luke Burns, Charlie Maxwell, Jackson Clark, and Joe Dyga. Jumping it up for the teams is Cordell Hofer against Joe Dyga. Opening tip is controlled by Charlie Maxwell and the Eagles, and it is the Eagles' ball to begin the first quarter. Maxwell at the top of the key, over to Luke Burns on the wing. Burns attacking to his left, kicks out to Corson, near corner, his three, short. Rebound tipped out to Kay Gall, and he defers to Peyton Faldo. Faldo, top of the key. Eagles in a 2-3 zone. Kicks on the wing to Cull, over to Sherrick, into the post. Into the post is Skylar Mast. He lays it up and in. Fairfield out to an early 2-0 lead. Fairfield averages 53.4 points per game, 52% shooting from the floor, and 6.7 steals. Clark over to Maxwell, far wing. Fairfield in a man-to-man. Picks up the dribble. Corson shoots another three. This time it's good. Eagles have an early 3-0 lead. Assist goes to Charlie Maxwell. Great movement by the Eagles. And Bryce Corson moving without the ball. That's a turnover. Here comes Jackson Clark in transition. Kicks it out to Charlie Maxwell. His transition corner three is good. Eagles are up 6-2. Beautiful start for the Eagles in transition, turning defense into offense. They're up 62. 6:49 left in the first quarter. Eagles still in the zone. Top of the key is Sherrick. Over on the far wing is Gall. Alley-oop up to Cordell Hofer. He lays it in. 6-4. 6:37 left in the opening quarter. Maxwell on the right side, to the right top of the key. Now between the circles, Maxwell. Fairfield back to Corson. Pump fakes. Thought about the three. Passes to Dyga on the wing. Maxwell far wing. Out to the right at the top of the key. Now into Dyga on the right block. Picks up the dribble out to Maxwell. Maxwell picks up his behind the back. Hop steps. Picks up his dribble out to Corson. Corson in the far corner. Ball goes out of bounds and it stays with the Eagles. Bryce Corson had just 3 points in the last game against Gemtown. Corson on the wing. Clark right at the top of the key. Tag it to his left. Turns it over. In transition is Fairfield. Here comes Cordell Hofer. On the wing is Mast. Now on the near wing is Sherrick. He floater in the lane. Bounces around the rim and goes in. Sherrick got the lucky bounce. And this game is tied at 6. 5:45 left in the opening quarter. Dyga far wing. Luke Burns far corner back to Dyga. Dyga looking for somebody to pass it. Gives it to Maxwell to left and top of the key. Driving to his right. Still driving to it. Picks up his dribble. Nearly loses the ball. Defers to Corson. He shoots the three. That's way long off the glass. Rebounded by Fairfield. And here it comes Kay Gall in a transition. Now Peyton Faldo on the far wing. Coming off the screen to his left. Into the middle is Kay Gall. Into the paint is Mast. His lips. No good. Foul going against Fairfield. Waiting to see who that's against. Here's if the foul is against Skylar Mast. That's his first. Team's first of the game. Locked up at 6. 5:12 left in the first. Maxwell across the midcourt stripe. Over to Corson. Near wing. Corson lobs it up to Dyga. Catches it. Lays it in. And the Eagles have an 8-6 lead. Assist goes to Bryce Corson. That is his first assist of the night. And Joe Dyga is on the board. Between the circles is Nolan Sherrick. Sherrick guarded by Clark. Still between the circles, Sherrick. Now on the right to top of the key. Passes over to Faldo. Now to Mast. Mast into the post is Cordell Hofer. He lays it in. Cordell Hofer now has 2 points on the night. and this game is still tied at 8, 4:33 left. Corson right at the top of the key, now between the circles, over to Clark on the wing. Clark dribbling to his right, back to Maxwell, top of the key. Maxwell dribbling to his left, picks up his dribble. Now Daiga far wing. Daiga attacking to his right. Floater on the way, and it's good. Eagles with a great start. They're up 10-8, 4 minutes, 12 seconds left in the opening quarter. Top of the key is Faldo. Hands it off to Gall. Gall picks up a dribble. Back to Faldo. Faldo guarded by Maxwell. Top of the key is Sherrick, the 5'10 junior. Sherrick passes to Skylar Mass, high post. Mass layup, left-handed layup is good. And once again, we are tied this time at 10, 3:48 left in the opening quarter. Maxwell, top of the key. Over to Corson on the wing. Corson guarded against Sherrick. Now over to Clark, right top of the key. Comes off a screen from Corson, over to Maxwell between the circles. Maxwell directing traffic. Over to Luke Burns. Burns on the left arc, attacking to his left. Step back jumper from the corner. Spins around the rim, no good. Rebounded by Peyton Faldo, the 5'7 senior. Peyton Faldo also plays football. 4 of the 5 stars for Fairfield play football. So that ball goes out of bounds, and it goes to the Eagles. That is now 2 turnovers on Fairfield. Fairfield coming out in a 1-2-2 pressure to try to break this. Maxwell and Clark are lined up to break it. Cross-court pass to Maxwell. Maxwell on the right side. In the middle is Daiga. Daiga passes to Corson. His corner floater is good. Bryce Corson now has 5 points on the night. Timeout Fairfield. Eagles lead 12-10. 3:02 left in the opening quarter. Great early start from the Eagles here at Rodman Bush and Yanham. They lead Fairfield 12-10, 3:02 left in the opening quarter. And that timeout, Coach Wood was stressing communication on defense. It's been the key in their past 2 games, despite only winning 1. And they've been very good defensively here in the opening quarter. On the wing is Hofer, guarded by Corson. Hofer, right arc, still dribbling, picks up his dribble. Still no one coming to help him. Still has the ball. Cross-court pass over to Skylar Mast. Mast, guarded by Corson. Denying Nolan Sherrick as Jackson Clark. The 3 is on the way from Hofer. Bounces off the rim, no good. Rebounded by Faldo. Into the post is Mast. His lips, no good. Ball goes out of bounds, and it stays with Fairfield. Jackson Clark was playing absolutely suffocating defense against Nolan Sherrick, the 5'10 junior. On the year, Sherrick averages 12.7 points, 58% shooting from the floor. Inbounding the ball, Sherrick. Ball is tipped. Gaining the ball is Skylar Mast, the 6' senior. Mast between the circles. Clark still denying the ball very tightly from Sherrick. On the near wing is Hofer. Hofer picks up his dribble, cross-court pass over to Mast. Lobs it up. Ball goes tipped out by Joe Daiga. Fight for the ball on the floor. Fairfield nearly picks it up. Hofer threw it over to Corson, and now Corson brings it up between the circles. Corson ball is tipped by Coder Hofer. Turnover, here he comes. Basket good, and the foul. The foul is on Charlie Maxwell. This game is tied at 12, a minute 53. Turnover from Bryce Corson leads to the transition bucket from Cordell Hofer. Hofer now has 4 points on the night and looking at his 5th. Checking in is Des Wilkins, and checking out is Charlie Maxwell. Cordell Hofer is the leading scorer for the Falcons. He has 14.1 points per game. The free throw is good. He converts to 3-point play. 14.1 points per game, 40% shooting. He had 12 points, 2 rebounds, and 3 assists in the last game at Bethany. A very dominant win for Fairfield. Corson brings the ball up. Guard against Sherrick, behind his back, between the circles. Mac picks up his dribble, over to Clark. Clark, right arc. Dribbling to his left, between his legs. Daiga on the left block, picks up the dribble, now to Wilkins. Wilkins on the left arc, into the post is Daiga. Hook shot. Ball goes out of bounds. Nearly out of bounds. Clark saved it, but it went off the leg of Brandon Holmes, and Fairfield gains possession. And the near corner is Hofer. Now to Sherrick. Over to Helms. Ball goes out of bounds, and it goes to the Eagles. Helms is the only freshman on this team. He's a 6'3" freshman. This team is very experienced, mainly juniors and seniors, but Holmes is the only underclassman on Fairfield. Burns to the right at the top of the key, giving the ball between his legs. Minute left in the opening quarter. Eagles trail by 1. Wilkins, left arc, guarded by Sherrick. Joe to his right, picks up his dribble, hand off to Luke Burns. Burns takes out to Corson on the left arc. Joe to his right, 45 seconds left. In the post is Clark. Beautiful feed from Bryce Corson. Jackson Clark lays it up and in. Eagles have a 14-13 lead, 36 seconds left. Sherrick over to Holford, right at the top of the key. Over to Gall. Gall, top of the key is Horford. 28 seconds left. Holford, right at the top of the key. Over to K. Gall, between the circles, directing traffic. 19 seconds left, opening quarter. Eagles are denying the ball from Peyton Faldo and also denying the ball from Nolan Sherrick. 10 seconds left, opening quarter. Faldo, right at the top of the key. Into the post, wide open is Cordell Holford. He lays it in. 15-14. Half-court key from Jackson Clark, no good off the glass. And at the end of the first quarter, the Eagles only trail by 1, 15-14. Very good opening quarter from the Eagles. Beginning of the second quarter, Eagles trail by 1, 15-14. Very good opening quarter from the Eagles. During the end of that timeout between quarters, Coach Hibbert was stressing to his team about being patient on offense, continuing to move the ball, take good shots, and good things will happen. And that is why they're only down 1 so far. Leading scorers for the Eagles, Bryce Corson has 5, Joe Daiga has 4, Clark has 2, and Charlie Maxwell has 3. It is Fairfield's ball to begin the second quarter. Gay Gall has the ball to the left of the top of the key, guarded by Corson. Over to Holford, guarded by Michael Cox. Pump fakes, picks up his dribble. Back over to Helms. Top of the key is Faldo, guarded by Maxwell. Over to Gall. Gall, now at the top of the key. Pass is nearly tipped away by Maxwell. He commits the foul, going to intercept the ball. The ball was intended for Peyton Faldo. Maxwell, a little too much contact. That is his second and the team's second of the game, so the Eagles point guard has 2 fouls here in the first half. So now checking out is Braden Holmes, and checking in is Skylar Mast, the 6-foot senior. Mast between the circles, between his legs, coming off the screen to his right. Wide open, right-handed layup is good. Through the contact, count it, and 1. The Falcons now have a 17-14 lead. The foul is on Bryce Corson. That's his first, third on the team. Falcons lead by 3, 17-14, and Mast has a chance at a 3-point play, and he converts the 3-point play. They lead 18-14. Corson near arc, pulls up from deep, and he hits. Bryce Corson, when he catches fire, look out. He has 8 points on the night. 18-17 lead for Fairfield. At the high block is Nolan Sherrick. Out to the right at the top of the key. Passes it over to Gay Call. Into the post is Hofer. His layup's no good, but he is fouled, I believe, by Joe Daiga. That is his first foul of the night. On the injury side of things, Tony Hilty, he's still out for the season without shoulder injury that he suffered during winter break. Also out for the season is Seth Jahimiak. He had knee surgery a couple weeks ago. First free throw is good from Holford. They lead by 3, 20-17. Coming off the bench is Luke Burns, and exiting the game is Joe Daiga. Daiga has 4 points on the night. Second free throw on the way, and it's good. 4-point lead for Fairfield, 21-17, 6:58 left in the half. Inbound the ball from the baseline is Luke Burns, and here comes Charlie Maxwell across the Eagle. Wilkins right at the top of the key. Back to Maxwell between the circles. Maxwell, right at the top of the key, guarded by Sherrick. Luke Burns on the left block. Picks up his dribble. Passes to Corson. Corson has 8 points on the night. Ball goes off the foot of Cordell Hofer, the 6'3 senior, and it stays with the Eagles. They trail by 3, 20-17. 6:36 left in the second quarter. Ball is tipped out of bounds by Hofer. He's pointing that it's Fairfield's ball, but it will stay with the Eagles. Inbounding the ball from the far corner is Luke Burns. Slaps the ball and gets it to Maxwell on the left arc. Maxwell back to Burns. Ball goes out of bounds. Errant pass by Maxwell. Tried to be a little too fancy on that pass. That is 3 turnovers on the night for the Eagles. For comparison, Fairfield also has 3 turnovers on the game. Between the circles is Nolan Sherrick. Eagles in a 2-3 zone. On the near wing is Gall. Back to Sherrick. Into the high post is Mass. His left leg is blocked by Luke Burns. Ball is poked away by Peyton Faldo. Fouled by Des Wilkins Maxwell. That's 5 fouls in the first quarter on the Eagles. That's Wilkins' first. The shot was blocked by Luke Burns. Mass poked the ball away from Corson, and he was fouled by Wilkins. Inbounding the ball to the basket on my right is Gay Gall. Looking for somebody to pass to. And wide open in the near corner is Hofer, and he connects a 3. A defensive miscommunication by the Eagles. They now trail by 6, and Coach Hibbert is not very happy with that miscommunication. Another turnover by Charlie Maxwell. A double dribble called against Gay Gall. Eagles got away with one there. Sloppy turnovers on, I believe, back-to-back possessions. But they get bailed out on the double dribble from Kay Gall. Subbing off the bench is Joe Dyga and Jackson Clark, and exiting is Michael Cox and Charlie Maxwell. So the 5 for the Eagles: Des Wilkins, Jackson Clark, Joe Dyga, Charlie Maxwell, and Luke Burns. Excuse me, not Charlie Maxwell, Bryce Corson. On the far wing is Burns. Cross-court pass to Clark, left arc. Fairfield in his zone. Clark to left to top of the key, over to Luke Burns, right at the top of the key. Front court right side, Burns. Burns still looking, passes it to Clark. Clark on the left arc. Setting up the Eagles offense. Cross-court pass to Burns, front court right side. Back to Clark. Clark left arc. Cross-court pass to Corson. Picked off by Skylar Mast. Up ahead to Sherrick. His lip bounces around the rim, goes in. Fairfield now leads by 8. Turnovers have been very costly for the Eagles in the second quarter. They got 5 on the night. Burns top the key, pulls up for 3. And he hits. His 3 is perfect. Eagles now trail by 5, 25-20, 4:57 in the first half. Sherrick over to Gall. Gall left to the top of the key, over to Nolan Sherrick between the circles. Eagles in his zone. Near wing is Faldo, back to Sherrick. Over on the wing to Gall, back to Sherrick, top of the key. Sherrick coming off the screen. Wide open is Faldo. He shoots the 3, and he hits. On the year, Fairfield is shooting 41% from 3. The 3 was good from Faldo. They now lead by 8, 28-20, 4:29 in the first half. Corson, left arc, guarded by Sherrick. Pulling up for another 3, and it bounces off the rim. No good. It appeared to be good. Ball goes out of bounds, and it goes to Fairfield. DeRay Bryce Corson has shot the ball tonight. I was fully expecting that one to go in. A little surprised it didn't, as Corson exits with a look of disappointment on his face, and Charlie Maxwell takes his place. Eagles in a bit of pressure. They're in a 1-2-2 pressure. Crossing half court is Fairfield, now masked. Double tape, turns the ball over. Here comes Maxwell, sprinting ahead with a full head of steam. Maxwell between the circles. Over to Wilkins, left arc. Wilkins, Jolene to his right, hand off to Luke Burns, left arc. Burns looking for somewhere to go. Burns between the circles, driving to his left, kicking out to Clark on the right arc. Over back to Burns, top of the key. Burns, far corner. Pass to Taiga in the post. Ball goes out of bounds. That's another turnover by the Eagles. That's now 6 on the night. And they trail by 8, 28-20. Eagles gotta be cleaner with the ball. Eagles still in the 1-2-2 pressure. Faldo over to Sherrick. He crosses half court. In the high post is Hofer. Back out to Faldo. His three is good. Fairfield now leads by 11. Faldo now has 6 points on the night. That's 2 3-pointers. And they lead by 11, 31-20. 3:16 left in the first half. This zone has really bothered the Eagles. They have not scored in a while. Timeout called by Coach Hibbert and the Eagles. They're struggling on offense, and they trail by 11. They got to get things going once again. 3 minutes and 12 seconds remain in the first half. The Eagles trail by 11. This zone defense from Fairfield has really bothered the Eagles, and during that timeout, I heard Coach Hibbert tell his team to set screens, move without the ball. One of his key sayings is when you're standing, you're easy to guard. Eagles got to move without the ball and make it things hard to be guarded for Fairfield. Luke Burns between the circles, guarded by Hofer. Burns attacking to his left, picks up a dribble out to Clark on the left arc. Clark left to the top of the key, still dribbling with his right hand. Passes over to Luke Burns, front court, right side, guarded by Hofer. Burns still dribbling the ball, now at the top of the key, between his legs. Back to Clark, left arc. Back to Burns. Burns top of the key. Eagles are still standing around on offense, excuse me. Burns still looking for somebody to pass to. Wide open is Jackson Clark. He lines up the corner three. He is fouled on his 3-point attempt. The foul is on Skylar Mass, the 6-foot senior. No, they did not call a foul. The foul is against Charlie Maxwell. Not quite sure what he did there, but that's his third foul of the first half. And out of that timeout, Eagles cannot score. They still trail 31-20. Sherrick, guarded by Clark, top of the key. Dribble handoff to Braden Holmes, the freshman. Back to Sherrick. Sherrick left arc. Picks up his dribble. Offensive foul going against Fairfield. We'll see who that one on, I believe. We'll wait here. It is on Skylar Mast. That's his second, and Ollie the team's second of the game. Current 5 for the Eagles: Bryce Corson, Joe Daiga, Charlie Maxwell, Luke Burns, and Jackson Clark. Clark bringing the ball up, across the midcourt stripe. Fairfield in a 1-3-1 defense does cause a lot of mistakes from the Eagles so far. We're in the baseline of Corson. He doesn't get the ball. Burns front court right side. Eagles are standing around. Still front court right side is Luke Burns. Guarded very tightly by Sherrick. Nearly stepped on the half court line. Now Clark left to the top of the key. Back to Luke Burns. Burns taking a couple dribbles. Splitting the double team. Pull up jumper from the elbow. Too strong. Puts the rebound. Charlie Maxwell. Ball goes out of bounds. Stays with Fairfield. And coming ahead and transition is scored to Hofer. Hofer picks up a dribble. Now to Faldo. Faldo back to Hofer. Hofer. High post. Guarded by Daiga. Hofer passes to Sherrick. Guarded very tightly by Clark. Sherrick coming off the screen to his left. Dribble handoff to Hofer. Hofer guarded by Daiga. Left arc. Attacking to his right. Floater in the lane. Off the rim. No good. Gets the rebound. Put back. No good. Rebound on Luke Burns. Luke Burns brings it up. Front court. Left side. 50 seconds remain in the first half. Eagles trail 31-20. Burns picks up his dribble. Now to Corson. Near far corner. Floater. No good. Rebounded by Sherrick. 38 seconds left in the first half. Still 31-20. Sherrick guarded by Clark. Over to Hofer. Hofer. Back top of the key is Sherrick. 26 seconds left. Back to Hofer. Hofer front court right side. 20 seconds left in the half. Trying to hand it off to Hofer. To Sherrick. Can't get it. Top of the key is Faldo. Now in the far wing is Gall. Gall guarded by Corson. 9 seconds left in the half. High post is Hofer. 5 seconds left. Spinning in the lane. Floater on the way. Good. Through the contact and one. Hofer with a key play. Through the contact, bucket counts. It's now 33-20, 1.4 seconds left. Fouls on Joe Daiga, that's his second. And Hofer heads to the free throw line for a chance at a 3-point play. He has 14 points on the night. So in the first half, he has matched his season average of 14 points. Eagles gotta do a better job against Hofer. Switching places on the free throw alignment is Charlie Maxwell and Joe Daiga. That's what that whistle was all about. Free throw on the way from Hofer is perfect. Fairfield leads by 14. And on the ball deep. Turnover by Clark. That's the summary of your first half. They turn it over with 1.4 seconds left. Buzzer sounds. Eagles head into the locker room down 14. They've got some work to do in the second half. Beginning of the second half here at Elkhart Christian Academy, the Eagles trail Fairfield by 14. 34-20 is the score. That first half was dominated by Cordell Hofer. He had 15 points in the first half. Clark top of the key over to Maxwell. Right arc. Maxwell. Guarded by Mast. Corson near corner. Back to Maxwell. Right at the top of the key. Maxwell. Dribbling the ball with his right hand. Now between the circles. Over to Clark on the far wing. Corson top of the key. Attacking to his left. Jumps out. Pull-up jumper in the lane is short. Rebounded by Hofer. Fight for the ball. Tipped out to Charlie Maxwell, and the Eagles regain possession. 7 minutes, 20 seconds left in the third quarter. Maxwell top the key over to Corson, left arc. Daiga high post. And the block is Luke Burns. He is fouled, I believe, on the floor. The foul is on, I believe it's on Peyton Faldo. I'm not quite sure. Or the foul is on K. Gall. That's his first. And on the ball is Maxwell to Jackson Clark. Right at the top of the key is Clark. Guarded by Gall. Clark behind his back. Top of the key is Maxwell. Maxwell guarded by Faldo, the 5'7" senior. Maxwell over to Luke Burns, right arc. Coming off the screen to his left is Burns. Picks up his dribble. Over to Clark, far corner, guarded by Gall. Clark. Over to Maxwell, front court, left side. Maxwell. Maxwell between the circles, now right at the top of the key. Back to Corson. Corson. Left arc, coming off the screen to his left. Into Daiga. Floater in the lane is short. Rebound Jackson Clark. Offensive rebound, put back is good. Eagles trail by 12. 34-20. Jackson Clark now has 4 points on the night. Crossing half court is Sherrick. Back over to Faldo. His three's on the way. Around the rim, no good. Putback is good by Cordell Hofer. By Skylar Mast. Mast now has 11 points on the night. Corson left arc. Guarded by Sherrick. Lobs it up. It was intended for Luke Burns, but picked off by Skylar Mast, and he is fouled in transition. Based on his reaction, I'm going to guess it's on Charlie Maxwell, or we'll wait for the official call. It is on Maxwell. That's his fourth foul. Team's first of the quarter. Now checking out of the game is Bryce Corson. Not quite sure what's going on. He was talking to the refs. Might be a cut on his hand. Not sure. Believe like there was a cut on his hand. He will get attention from the trainer, and I assume come right back in the game. But Maxwell takes his place, and Bryce Corson gets attention from the medical trainer. The athletic trainer for the Eagles is Nick Hoover. Sherrick picks up his dribble, guarded by Clark. Hand off to Faldo. Faldo, top of the key. Back out to Sherrick. Sherrick attacking to his right, spins, pivots in the lane. Hand off to Skylar Mast. 3-second call going against Fairfield. That is 6 turnovers on the night. for Fairfield and 7 for the Eagles. Between the circles is Maxwell. Bad pass by Maxwell, picked off by Hofer. Hofer in transition, right-handed layup is no good. He missed a wide-open layup. Luke Burns is fouled by Fairfield. Wait to see who the call is on. The foul is on Cordell Hofer. That's his first, team's second. Maxwell staying in the game with 4 fouls. Coach Hibbert telling his team to keep their heads up. Luke Burns top the key, guarded by Hofer. Kicks it out to Maxwell near corner, driving baseline. Cross-court pass to Tiger. Ball goes through his hands, out of bounds. 9 turnovers on the night for the Eagles. Fairfield still at 6. 36-22, 4 minutes, 50 seconds left in the third quarter. Fairfield has a 14-point lead. Left arc is Hofer. Wide open in the lane is Nolan Sherrick. His layup's no good, but he's fouled on his layup. And he'll go to the free throw line for 2 shots and a 14-point lead. Foul is on Des Wilkins Maxwell. That's his second. Team's second. And at the free throw line is Nolan Sherrick. He has 2 points, 1 rebound on the night. First free throw is good from Sherrick. 15-point lead. 37-22. Timeout called by Coach Hibbert and the Eagles. They trail by 15. At the free throw line for Fairfield is Nolan Sherrick. He has 3 points on the night. First throw is short. Rebound. Tipped out to Luke Burns, and the Eagles gain possession down 16. 38-22. Luke Burns left arc. Guarded by Gall. Burns. Still dribbling. Near corner. Pull-up jumper. Short. Rebounded by Skylar Mass. Not the best shot by Luke Burns. But the Eagles get the ball after the ball was loose. And they got it back. Luke Burns left to the top of the key. Burns. Dribbling the ball with his left hand. Guarded by Gall. Burns still dribbling. Attacking to his left. Pull-up jumper in the lane is perfect. Eagles now trail by 13, 37-24. Luke Burns has 5 points on the night. Top of the key is Faldo. Over on the wing is Hofer. Back to Faldo. Into the post is Mast. His lip's no good, but he's fouled by either Jackson Clark or Joe Dyga. We'll wait to see what the call is. The foul is on Jackson Clark. That's his first. And the third for the Eagles. And at the free throw line is Skylar Mass, the 6-foot senior. First free throw spins around the rim, no good. Still 37-24. Mass averages 6.1 points per game. 8.6 points per game. He also plays football and he shoots 68% from the floor. 38-24 is the score. 3 minutes, 46 seconds left. Scoring leaders for Fairfield, Mast has 12, Hofer has 15, and that's the majority of the points for Fairfield. Luke Burns over to Wilkins near corner, trying to get in the post to Clark. Clark battling for position against Gall, and Gall is called for the foul. Very physical play, both players trying to gain position down on the right block, but the foul goes against K. Gall. Inbounding the ball from the baseline is Jackson Clark. Clark slaps the ball. Looking to inbound it. Finally gets it into Wilkins. To the left top of the key, back to Burns. Burns between the circles. Burns now to the left top of the key, over to Corson. Corson guarded by Sherrick. Corson between his legs. Now between the circles, over to Wilkins, left arc. Wilkins, guarded by Gall. Dribbling to his right, picks up his dribble. Hand off to Luke Burns. Coach Trevor calling out the play Boston. We'll see what this play is. Luke Burns between the circles. between his legs. Still dribbling the ball is Luke Burns. Burns pulls up from center for three, and he hits! Luke Burns pulled up from the top of the key, drained the three-pointer. It's an 11-point game. 38-27, 2 minutes, 44 seconds left in the third quarter. Luke Burns now has 8 points on the night. Top of the key is Gall, guarded by Wilkes. Now to left top of the key, picks up his dribble. Trying to get it, Sherrick and Cat. Now to Hofer, guarded by Burns on the left arc. Hofer attacking to his right. Wide open layup. Blocked by Corson. It appeared to be deflected by Bryce Corson. Up ahead, Jackson Clark. Didn't see what the call was from that ref. Might have been a traveling call against the Eagles. But that shot appeared to be blocked by Bryce Corson. I've talked to him after the game about if he had got a piece of that or not. But a good defensive possession from the Eagles, but they turn it over in transition. In the post to Sherrick against Clark. Turnaround jumper's good off the glass. 40-27, 2 minutes left in the third. Corson front court left side. Guarded by Faldo. Corson between the circles. Hand off to Daiga. Daiga's had a quiet night, only 4 points on the night, but make that 6 points on the night. Eagles trail 40-29. Daiga's normally a double-double machine, but he only has 6 points here in the third quarter, with only a minute 40 left in the third. Faldo attacking Corson over to Hofer. Hofer attacking to his right against Burns. Picks up his dribble, kicks out to Sherrick between the circles, guarded by Clark. Sherrick putting the moves on Clark. Back out to Hofer. Back out to Holmes. Holmes to Faldo. Right arc, guarded by Corson. Faldo crosses over Corson. Kicks that wide open in the corner as Gay Gall. His three's no good. Offensive rebound by Faldo. And a foul called against Bryce Corson. Timeout on the floor. Eagles trail by 11, 40-29. Eagles trail by 11, 40-29. Checking into the game is Noah Hunt, the sophomore. Against Elkhart Christian, he had 10 points, 6 rebounds off the bench. As Sherrick is fouled by Des Wilkins Maxwell. That's his third. A bit of foul trouble for the Eagles. Maxwell has 3. Wilkins Maxwell has 3. And Charlie Maxwell has 4. Around the ball is Hofer. Left elbow. Out to Mast. Over to Gall. Gall guarded by Wilkins. Top the key is Sherrick. Driving in the lane. Wide open in the paint is Mast. He lays it in. Defensive miscommunication. Eagles trail by 13, 42-29. Also checking into the game for the Eagles is Bryce Schrock. Schrock hand off to Jackson Clark. Top the key. Clark hand off to Maxwell. Hand off to Noah Hunt. Hunt, hand off to Burns. Top of the key. Loses the ball. Here comes Sherrick in transition. Wide open layup is no good, but he's fouled by Jackson Clark. The bucket does not count. That is now 2 fouls on Jackson Clark. And 5 team fouls for the team. 42-29 is the lead for Fairfield. 21.3 seconds left in the third. At the free throw line is Nolan Sherrick, the 5'10 senior. 5'10 junior. Sherrick also plays football for Fairfield. First free throw is good, 43-29. Checking in is Cade Kitson and Braden Holmes. Free throw on the way is perfect from Sherrick, and Fairfield leads 44-29. Wilkins pushing ahead, picks up his dribble. Bryce Schrock between the circles, 14 seconds left in the quarter. Hand off to Jackson Clark, fouled by Sherrick. Sherrick went for the steal, got a little over-aggressive and commits his first foul of the game. 11.1 seconds left in the third quarter. Fairfield leads 44-29. Clark must ball on the sideline to Luke Burns. Burns between the circles, guarded by Sherrick. 7 seconds left in the quarter. Sherrick, Burns put on the move. Step back jumper on the way. No good. Rebounded by Mast. Buzzer sounds. That's the end of the third quarter. Fairfield leads 40-29. It's going to take a big fourth quarter from the Eagles to complete the comeback. We'll see if they can pull it off. Beginning of the fourth quarter here at Elkhart Christian Academy, Fairfield leads 44-29. They're led by Skylar Mast with 14 points and Cordell Hofer with 15. The next leading scorer for Fairfield is Peyton Faldo with 6 points. For the Eagles, Bryce Corson has 8 all in the first half. Jesse Clark has 4, Maxwell has 3, Tyga has 6, and Luke Burns has 8. It will be Fairfield's ball to start the final quarter. Sherrick, guarded by Clark. Front court, right side is Mast. Double teamed by Corson and Clark. Defers it to Kitson. Back to Sherrick, left arc. Double teamed by Maxwell. Nearly turns it over. Near wing is Skylar Mast. Wide open is Sherrick. He shoots the 3. No good. Rebounded by Joe Daigo, and he is fouled on the rebound by Braden Helms, the 6'3 freshman. Between quarters, Coach Hibbert was telling his team to win the fourth quarter. Regardless of what happens, win this quarter. Give yourself some momentum going into Friday evening at Northwood. Coach Hibbert calling out to play low stack. That's typically a lob, but we'll see what happens. Maxwell over to Daigo, left arc, back to Corson, top of the key. Corson, hand off to Maxwell. Maxwell, dribbling with the ball with his left hand between his legs. Crosses over his defender, picks up his dribble. Cross go past to Daigo. He lines up the 3, and he hits the trifecta. Eagles trail by 12, 44-32. Joe Daigo now has 9 points on the night. It's going to take a big effort from the Eagles to pull off this comeback. They trail by 12, 6:57 left. Right side is Faldo. Wide open in the paint is Gay Gall. His layup's good. Those are the kind of things that cannot happen for the Eagles when they're down by double digits late in the fourth. That's another defensive miscommunication. Maxwell picks up his dribble. Needs some help. Gives up to Corson, left side. Corson, left arc. Picks up his dribble. Loses the ball. Here comes Hubbs in transition. His right-handed layup is no good. Rebounded by Sherrick. His putback is good. And the Eagles trail by 16, 48-32. Maxwell in transition. He picks up his dribble. Over to Daiga. He lines up another 3. High arcing. And it's perfect. A rainbow 3 from Joe Daiga. He now has 12 points on the night. Also blows on the floor, waiting to see what happened. Was there a foul? I'm not quite sure what happened. Luke Burns checks in and Des Wilkins checks out. Sherrick checks out and Holford comes in for Fairfield. Still confused with what that call was. I'm assuming it was a foul against the Eagles. Not quite sure what happened. Maybe it was a timeout. There is a timeout on the floor. Hopefully they get this confusion cleared up. Fairfield leads by 16. 6 minutes and 10 seconds remain in the ball game. Fairfield leads by 13, 48-35. Eagles have made a little bit of an effort to come back in this fourth quarter, but they still trail by 13. The 5 for the Eagles will be all 5 starters: Charlie Maxwell, Luke Burns, Bryce Corson, Jackson Clark, and Joe Daiga as the man in the middle. Fairfield's ball. Eagles in a 1-2-2 pressure. Daiga at the top. Faldo and Holford top of the key. Guarded very tightly by Daiga. Over to Gall. Near wing is Holmes. Holmes into the post. Ball goes off the hands of Faldo. Bryce Corson up ahead of Joe Daiga. His layup is too strong. He just threw it off the glass. No good. Gets his own rebound. Putback is no good, but he's fouled. Joe Daiga with an ugly sequence of events, but gets bailed out. Fouled on his putback, and he goes to the free throw line for 2 shots. And a chance to put 2 more points on the board for the Eagles. He'll have 14 if he makes both free throws, and the Eagles will trail by 11. We'll see what he does with these 2 free throws. Free throw on the way is short. Off the front iron, no good. Still 48-35. Checking out is Skylar Mast, and coming in off the bench is Nolan Sherrick. Sherrick has 9 points, 2 rebounds on the night. Second free throw from Daiga is good. Eagles trail by 12, 48-36. Eagles still under pressure. Daiga pressuring Faldo. Very good defense from Daiga. Faldo passes it. Cross-court pass, nearly turns it over, but Sherrick draws the ball. Sherrick on the left wing. Over to Gay Gall. Double teamed. Into the post is Helms. Helms wide open. The Faldo, his three's good. And that is an absolute killer for the Eagles. They trail 51-36. 5:20 left. Corson lights up a three. That's short. Rebounded by Hofer. And they'll bring the ball up across the midcourt stripe. Sprinting ahead. Wide open is Faldo. Thought about another three. Wide open in the paint is Helms. His layup is good. Fairfield by 17. 53-36. 5 minutes left in the game. Maxwell front court right side. Guarded by Faldo. Faldo has 9 points on the night. Maxwell over to Corson. Left to the top of the key. Corson over his defender. Floater in the lane is short. Corson falls over, no whistle. And Faldo brings the ball up for Fairfield. Faldo in the paint to Gall. His layup's good. Fairfield is pouring it on in these past couple minutes. They lead by 19. 55-36. Eagles getting rattled. Maxwell, handoff to Clark, right at the top of the key, over to Daiga, between the circles, handoff to Corson. Corson shoots a very deep three. That's an air ball. Ill-advised shot from Bryce Corson. He's been off ever since the first quarter. 55-36, wide open is Faldo. His three is no good. Rebound of Joe Daiga. Daiga sprinting ahead in a transition. Right-handed layup is short, no good. It's just been that kind of night for the Eagles. Good first half. Second half, not so much. Timeout on the floor. Timeout called by Fairfield. They lead by 19. 55-36. 3:51 left in the game. 3 minutes and 51 seconds remain in the ball game. Fairfield leads by 19. 55-36. Odell Hofer has 15 points for Fairfield. Skylar Mast has 14 points, 2 rebounds. Peyton Faldo has 9, and Nolan Sherrick has 9 for the Eagles. Joe Daiga has 13 points, Luke Burns has 8, and Bryce Corson has 8. Claire has 4, and Maxwell has 3. Hofer into the paint, turned the ball over. Here comes Luke Burns across the midcourt stripe, trailing by 19. Burns guarded by Sherrick, top of the key. Coming off the screen to his left. Far corner is Clark, guarded by Hofer. Lucas Maxwell, out to Michael Cox near wing. Hands off to Maxwell. Maxwell picks up his dribble in lane. Wild shot on the way. It goes in. Not sure that was the best shot, but it goes in. The Eagles will take it. They trail 55-38. 3:14 left. Maxwell now has 5 points on the night. Sherrick double teamed by Clark and Burns. Hand off to Hofer. Hofer picks up his dribble on the right arc. Backdoor wide open is Faldo. Pass to Holmes. His layup's no good. Ball goes out of bounds and it stays with Fairfield. They're up by 19. 2 minutes, 56 seconds left in the game. Faldo inbound the ball to the basket on my left. Faldo gives it to Sherrick. Pump fake. Driving straight to the rim. Layup is good. 57-38. Nolan Sherrick is now in double figures. He has 11 points on the night. 3 players for Fairfield have double figures. Skylar Mast, Cordell Hofer, and Nolan Sherrick. Maxwell kicks out to Burns. Pump fake. Corner pull-up jumper is good. 40-57. Luke Burns now has 10 points and 4 rebounds on the night. But the Eagles still trail by 17. Hofer, right arc, guarded by Burns. Attacking to his right, now to his left. Pass in the paint to Mast. His layup is perfect. Eagles trail by 19. 59-40. 2:10 left in the game. Maxwell, right arc. Maxwell comes off the screen to his left. Still on the right arc now. Maxwell top of the key. Maxwell guarded by Helms. Coming off the screen to his right. Floater in the paint. Short. Rebound Charlie Maxwell. His putback is no good. Rebounded by Hofer. And he'll bring the ball up for Fairfield. Fairfield has a 19-point lead, 59-40. Sherrick, front court right side, probably in kill clock mode. Sherrick attacking to his left. Back up to Faldo, left arc. Faldo guarded by Maxwell, over to Sherrick. Sherrick cross-court pass to Faldo. Minute 20 left in this ball game. Back to Sherrick, back to Faldo. They're in kill clock mode. So looking ahead for the Eagles, they have Northwood on Friday night at 7:30 at Northwood. We will not have this game since it is on the road. Our next game, as Luke Burns commits a foul to stop the clock, our next game will be next Monday against Triton. Time for that game is at 7:30. That is a rescheduled game, originally scheduled for earlier in the month, but was postponed due to the super cold couple of days that we had earlier in the month. Well, the new 5 for the Eagles is the JV team plus Des Wilkins and Michael Cox. It's Bryce Rock, Lewis Staten, Noah Hunt, and Michael Cox and Des Wilkins. Near wing, top of the key is Edwards. Over the mast, into the paint. It's Nolan Sherrick. He's fouled on his way to the bucket. 51.9 seconds left in this one. Eagles trail by 19, 59-40. The foul is on Noah Hunt, his first and the team's 6th. So heading to the free throw line is Justin Bontrager, the 5'7" junior. Bontrager getting his first minutes of action tonight and a chance at his first points. The free throw is good from Bontrager. Fairfield leads by 20, 60-40. Second free throw on the way. It's too strong. Offensive rebound by Bryce Willard. Kicks it out to Edwards. Edwards over to Kitson. On the wing is Willard. Back to Kitson. Over on the wing is Bales. His layup's no good. Rebounded by Kitson. 30 seconds left in this game. Top of the key is Edwards. Wide open in the wing is Bontrager. He hits the 3. A quick 4 points off the bench for Bontrager. Fairfield leads by 23. Timeout called by Coach Shepard. They trailed by 23, 63-40. 21.8 seconds left in the game. Well, it's been an ugly second half for the Eagles. They trailed by 23, 63-40. 21.8 seconds left. Current 5 for the Eagles: Lewis Staten, Bryce Rock, Michael Cox, Noah Hunt, and Des Wilkins. Final 21 seconds here at Elkhart Christian Academy. Bryce Rock on the screen to his right. Now on the right arc is Bryce Rock. Wilkins, top of the key. Over to Michael Cox, far wing. Hand off to Wilkins, left to top of the key. Over to Staten, far corner. Back to Maxwell. 3 seconds left. He pulls up for 3. Why not? No good. Buzzer sounds. That's your ball game. Final score: Fairfield 63, ECA 40. Scoring leaders for Fairfield: Skylar Mass had 16, Cordell Hofer 15, and on track 11. For the Eagles, Joe Daiga had 13, and Luke Burns had 10. The Eagles will hit the road on Friday evening at Northwood. Our next home game will be on Monday against Triton. Once again, the final score: 63-40.